Welcome to Cheik In GP. Imagine a wound that is 10 years old, but still hurts to this day. The wound does not belong to just one rider, but the wound felt by millions of MotoGP fans around the world. The wound's born of a legendary rivalry, Valentino Rossi against Marc Márquez. And now, a legend of the 90s, Loris Reggiani, is pouring gasoline on that old flame. It said, Marquez should apologize. The question is, why now? And what will be the impact on the history of MotoGP if the apology really happens? The Rossi-Marquez rivalry is not an ordinary story. It all started in the 2015 season. Argentina became a hot spot, Mugello added to the fire, until finally Sepang became a big explosion. We all remember the incident. Rossi and Marquez collided. Rossi was penalized for a rear start at Valencia, and Jorge Lorenzo took the world title. For many, the story is already closed. But for Loris Reggiani, no. According to him, Marc Márquez is the mastermind. He deliberately played dirty to ensure the title fell into the hands of his countryman, Jorge Lorenzo. Reggiani's words were sharp. Rossi led most of the season. If the last 3 races had gone normally, he would have won at the age of 36. But Marquez stole it. Reggiani added, even though 10 years have passed, Marquez still has to apologize. Not only to Rossi, but to the world of MotoGP. The apology, he said, would be a tribute to the sport and its fans. At this point, we wonder, is it true that Marquez is just a puppet for Lorenzo? Or is there a bigger scenario behind the scenes? In fact, the wound never healed. Rossi fans believe the 10th title was lost due to a conspiracy. Marquez fans believe Rossi is just looking for an excuse. But one thing is certain, this rivalry is much bigger than just a race. This is a matter of inheritance. Rossi lost his last chance to add to the crown, and Marquez accused of being a legend destroyer. Now imagine, if you were Marc Márquez, would you dare apologize now, at the risk of admitting wrongdoing that he has been protesting? Or is it better to let time answer? Even if the wound never goes away? Let's jump to the year 2025. The irony emerges so clearly. Marquez, who was once considered to have robbed Rossi of his dreams, is now Ducati's savior. He leads the standings by a large distance, 8 times world champion, and appears as the full operator of the GP25 project. Meanwhile, Pecco Bagnaia, the defending champion, actually seemed to sink. This condition triggered a new debate. Alex Barros accused Ducati of abandoning Bagnaia for Marquez. But Carlo Pernat directly protested strongly. That's a stupid idea. Ducati never abandons its riders. They just chose the right leader, Marc Márquez. According to Pernat, Gigi Dall'Igna took a strategic decision. Ducati wants to put the best riders as leaders to ensure that their bikes continue to develop. Pernat even reminds that Ducati always gives opportunities to its riders. Jack Miller, Dovizioso, to Bastianini, all have had full support. But the reality cannot be denied. Marquez dominates. Bagnaia is in trouble. Ducati is still giving support, but all the spotlight is now focused on Marquez. The question is Ducati really fair? Or is it all about Marquez now? This is where we see the great paradox of a Marc Márquez. In the past, he was considered a public enemy, robbing Rossi of his last dreams. Now, it's Ducati's hero, saving the team from deadlock. 2 faces of the same person. From Ducati's point of view, this move is clearly a big bet. They are willing to shake tradition, willing to make Bagnaia lose the spotlight for the sake of one thing, the certainty of victory. And for them, Marquez is that certainty. A big question arose. How will history remember Ducati? As a fair team that supports all its drivers? Or as a team that is willing to sacrifice the world champion in order to raise a bigger figure? 10 years ago, Marc Márquez was accused of destroying Valentino Rossi's last dream. 10 years later, Marc Márquez became the foundation of Ducati's success. 1 person, 2 faces, 2 histories. And now, the question echoes again. Should Marquez apologize to Rossi? Or should history write that all this is just part of the big game of MotoGP? Whatever the answer, One thing is certain. Marc Márquez remains a phenomenon that cannot be ignored. What do you think? Does Marquez deserve to apologize so that the audience is more engaged in the comment column? I'm Cheik In GP. See you at the next analysis.